Chapter 10. The Tree That Didn't Know It Was Dying. If a branch gives no shadow, ask what it's feeding. From a forgotten field guide, ink faded to brown. I needed shelter. I needed shelter. The lean-to had collapsed during the night. Not from rain, from something brushing past it in silence. A branch, maybe, or a root that had grown just enough to shift its weight. The cloth was torn. The ribs bent inward like trying to hold themselves still. The mast was still there. I woke beside it. I hadn't meant to. My body found its way to it in sleep. The stone lay near my ankle. It was cold this morning. Fog circled the edge of the clearing, but hadn't come in. The air was damp, quiet, slow. I gathered what bark I could find, what loose branches had fallen, but none were strong enough. Nothing straight, nothing wide. I would need to cut one. The thought made my stomach twist. Not fear, not guilt, not yet, just hesitation. It took 2 hours to find the right tree. Not the tallest, not the oldest. A young one, pale bark, shallow roots, a trunk as thick as my leg. Its branches were straight. Its leaves still turned toward the weak morning light. It didn't move when I approached. I circled it times. The stone rolled once, stopped at its base. This one? I whispered. No answer. No hum. Just silence. I took the knife from my side. The red string was still knotted around its grip. Fade now, soaked at the edges. The blade was dull. I had never sharpened it. It wasn't meant to cut. I pressed the edge to the bark. Nothing. I pushed harder. It skipped, glanced off. I gritted my teeth and struck again. A jab, not a slice. The knife sank a little, enough to tear the outer bark. Sap welled up, pale, almost clear. The tree shivered. Not from wind. It pulsed. Not visibly, not in motion, but in presence. A pressure behind my ears. A taste in my mouth, iron and ash. I'm sorry, I said. I cut again. This time, the bark peeled. A strip clean. The tree pulsed again. And I heard something, not with my ears. A sound like wood splitting, not from damage, but from grief. Like the sigh of something that had been waiting not to be hurt. I staggered back. The stone pulsed hot. The tree's leaves trembled. I have to, I said. The knife dropped. I bent, picked it up again. My hands were shaking. I made 3 more cuts. Deep, clean. The branch dropped. A long, straight piece. I grabbed it. It was hot. Not from sun, from life. It didn't want to be held. It resisted. It twitched in my grip, faintly. I nearly dropped it again. But I didn't. I walked back to the mast. The air around it was cooler now. The roots curled back. Not welcoming. Waiting. I laid the branch across 2 stones. Began shaving it. Slowly, smoothing, rounding the edges. The bark peeled like skin. The sap dripped like tears. Thank you, I said, once. The fog didn't enter the clearing. That night, I built a new shelter. Stronger, wider. The branch became the center beam. The stone sat beside the entrance, silent. The fire I built was small, hesitant. I had gathered dry moss and brittle bark, but the air felt too watchful. I struck flint against stone. It sparked. Twice. The third time, a small flame held. I fed it slowly. It warmed my face, but not the clearing. I could feel the mast watching, the way a thing might watch its own story being rewritten. The branch didn't burn. I didn't let it. I let it hold weight instead. When I slept that night, the ground felt uneasy. Like it shifted a little under me, not as a threat, more like it was thinking. I dreamt of the tree I had cut. In the dream, it had no top, no branches. It was just a trunk, endless, reaching upward into skyless dark. I climbed it, not because I wanted to, because it asked. Halfway up, the trunk opened like a wound. I saw a face, not mine, not my mother's, an older face, bark for skin, moss in its hair. It whispered something I couldn't hear. When I woke, my hands were clenched. My nails had broken skin. The next morning, when I returned to it, its leaves had all fallen, and its shadow was gone. Only the trunk remained, still standing, but not alive. I knelt, placed my hand on its bark. You didn't know you were dying, I said. I could still smell sap in the wound. The bark had dried overnight, brittle at the edges. I traced the cuts. They were clean, too clean. I sat beneath it for a long time. The stone joined me. It didn't roll. It didn't pulse. It just rested against my ankle, like it didn't know what comfort was supposed to look like. Birds didn't sing that morning. Even the wind passed higher. And when I rose to return to the clearing, the soil beneath the tree shifted. A small mound lifted, not roots, not rock, just earth, rising gently, then settling again. Like breath. Like the tree was not gone, only sleeping inside itself. I paused before walking away. I touched the branch I had taken again. It was now part of the shelter, solid, supporting. But the heat was gone. It was only wood. But I whispered to it anyway. You still hold the memory, even if no one sees it. The stone twitched once by my foot. I looked down. It had rolled half a hand's width closer. The mast hummed. Loud, not near. But it felt like morning, and something beneath the earth curled tighter in its sleep. Waiting,